Hello, glorious souls. Welcome to your soul service astrology update for the 20th of Feb 2023. Hi, I'm Kel. I'm a 13 sign sidereal astrologer. That means the astrology that I refer to can be observed in the sky. So it kind of matches astronomy. Whereas the other modern day pop astrology doesn't match what you can observe in the sky. I think that's really important. I think we need to be observing our environment to be able to enhance our environmental intelligence, to connect with our environment, to listen to the land so that we can help heal it and it heals us, because we really need that right now. We're living in unprecedented times. I don't like saying that, it's a bit glib and maybe it's lost a bit of its power, but I was just thinking today as a precipice to start off into falling into next week's astrology, that we are living in unprecedented times. And the theme for this incoming week really is there has to be a better way. But what I want to say prior to that is it is not your fault. So clearly there will be things that we have, decisions that we have made in our life that may not necessarily have panned out the way we expected, which is usually the way it goes when we're met with decisions that we need to make that might feel challenging or hard. And maybe it didn't pan out the way it did. Yes, look, they might be more personal decisions. But what I want to say to you is within our personal lives, we are within a bigger system. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. As we step into next week, the 20th of February, we start off with a new moon. And the new moon is in Aquarius and it's conjunct Saturn. And Saturn has just moved into Aquarius. So it's Aquarius energy amplified, right? So what is Aquarius energy? When we want to step into that space where we've got a new moon, Saturn's just stepped in there, so clearly there is a focus there. It's a focus on change, but it's not necessarily change that we've done before. This is change that we may not have any clue how to do. And really, if we look at our collective, and the Aquarius is really about the collective, we are sitting in a position which hasn't been documented before. Now, there are some records of climate change before and how humans responded. And that's really from archaeological digs of how humans may have responded to ocean level rise at the end of the Ice Age, right? But it's not clear documentation, so we don't really know what's going to happen, and we're not really preparing ourselves for the consequences of ocean level rise and all the other things that are going to happen with climate change. And also then there's ecological collapse on top of that, and the imbalances that's happening within our ecological system. But then on top of that, there is the economic system that we have constructed, right? And it's not working. So I want to give you something today. I want to say to you, regardless of what is happening in your life, and it may feel chaotic, it may feel out of control, you may feel like a failure, you may feel like, oh my God, I've bad decisions, I'm failing in this current system. It's not just you. It's not your fault. So that's what I want to say to you as we step into a deepening of Aquarius system, because we're going to journey with Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is showing us where our system's not working. Saturn is showing us where we need to make a change in our system for the collective, for the betterment of the collective. Now, we need to pick sides. So you need to decide, am I going to start to make changes so that we can have a better world? Because it's going to require a new system. We have started to see some ripple effects around the world. Some governments have changed, like the Australian government changed and the US government changed, but there's still within that neoliberal, and I'm going to bring politics in, they're still in that neoliberal way of thinking. You can start it at the personal level, of course, but like I said, big change needs to start happening at a community level, at a country level. So with that in mind, how are you feeling at the moment? I'm recording this under the balsamic moon, and notice what came up for you over the weekend, because the balsamic moon is usually a great time when the moon is, you know, almost void, to really be the mystic and peer into your subconscious and see what really needs to go, so that you can start stepping into this new intention that you want to set with your emotional intelligence and the moon space together with Saturn. So Saturn is our methods. Saturn is our goals. Saturn is our mastery. And in Aquarius, as where the moon is as well, what changes are you going to bring? Where do you need to shake things up? How can you be inventive? What needs to change in your system, right? Knowing it's not, I don't want you to step into self-blame, that there is a system around you that has a significant influence. So there's really an opportunity here to start at the vibrational level, because Aquarius is likes vibrations, like it's good vibes, it's inspiration, it's imagination. The moon is our feeling state. So what feelings do you want to be stepping into? Like, even though we're in a system that is clearly failing. Now, if you are in survival mode, which means that you may not have your basic needs met, or you might be under financial stress, which lots of people are at the moment because of what the system has done, then all you need to do is things to support your nervous system. And that could be exercise, good food, getting out in the environment, walking on the earth, swimming, talking to a dear friend, perhaps going and seeking support from a psychoanalyst, a hypnotherapist, a psychologist, anyone that you can find support with. If you do need financial support in Australia, I know that you can call a hotline and you can speak to a free financial counsellor. I think that is probably, and I'm wondering if other countries have that, that is probably the coolest things, right? So you get to support your nervous system and go, I know I don't want to be here, but I'm going to do stuff to help myself so I don't stay here. But then what's the end goal? So that's that Saturn. What's the end goal? What's the end feeling state that I want to be in? And it's to feel supported. It's to feel sustainable. It's to feel that groundedness of Saturn while we move towards the changes that we wish to be and see. So this energy is quite big. It's a big shift that we're moving into with Saturn moving into Aquarius. And again, it's not because Saturn's moving into Aquarius. You can clearly see it happening within the systems around the world. Now, there's another aspect that's happening, and it might be fear. That's Uranus square Mercury. So, of course, the mind likes to throw up all these what ifs, like, I can't do this, like, what if this change causes this? What if I don't know how to do this? Like, I'm going... Uranus is not really in Aries at the moment. It's kind of sitting in no man's land, because the stars of Aries aren't that close to the ecliptic. There's another constellation, Cetus, which is close to the ecliptic. But if you look at the ecliptic of Aries, there's not much there. So if we think about what Uranus might do in that situation, and then squaring our mind, and our mind's looking for anchoring in Capricorn, it's a bit like, Kelly, you've just told me that the system is on me. Well, now I've got a fear that I can't break out of the system, and that how do I do this change that I want to become? You start with your nervous system work. You start with your body. You start with the physical. And then you get your nervous system regulated, and then you can start again. So don't let the mind play games. You can ground yourself through your body and your nervous system work. And that is as simple as some exercise. That is simple as going out into the environment. And that's our environmental intelligence. And that's the land helping us. It continues to help us, even though we do stuff to the land, right? Listen to the land. And then later in the week, we have a great aspect. We have Mars trine Mercury, and it's that earthly. So if we can move with any fear that comes up in relation to, I don't really know how to do the changes that I know I need to make in my life. I don't know how to support my nervous system. I've just given you some ideas. At the end of the week, if you allow yourself to flow with that, Is there things on your to-do list? Like this is Mercury in Capricorn would have a massive to-do list. I'm going to do all these things. Let me tell you, I have that list. Take things off it. Take things off that list and then connect in with what means the most to you now and flow with that. Because really, who's going to come out of the woodwork and go, you didn't do that? You didn't do that. So that's not going to happen. So when we allow ourselves to clear out things that really aren't our focus, and that's what I'm talking about, this focused energy of Mars trine Mercury, and we just get consolidated on what it is that we want to focus on, and we take some of the riffraff out, things get easier. Very practical. We're very practical today. And then at the end of the week, of course, the stellium for Pisces gets bigger. So even though I've spoken a lot of practical things, I'm now going to speak a bit about esoteric things. You have subtle intelligences, the intelligence of that connection to the planet and the earth. Your emotions are an intelligence, which doing your nervous system work will strengthen, but you also have an intuition. And once your nervous system is regulated and you feel stable and supported emotionally, you can start listening to your intuition. And with all the planets piling into Pisces at the moment, there is a deepening call for you to listen to your intuition. And your intuition, you will start to hear, feel, see, or know things. And I'm sure we've all had that experience. It's like, you know what? I knew that was going to happen, and it went and happened, right? So allow yourself, cut yourself some slack this week. It's not all your fault. We need to take responsibility for our decisions. That's what I'm suggesting there. There are personal decisions that we make that we take responsibility for, and that's part of our journey, but it's not all your fault. And you get to clear out the crap off your list. You also get to clear out your nervous system by doing some things for your body and yourself and your nervous system. And then you get to connect in with your subtle intelligences. And you can do that when you're out doing exercise and through your body and noticing what you feel, or out for a walk, or perhaps you do meditate and receive information that way. And you get to start to privilege your intuitive intelligence as you move through these unprecedented times. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like it, but I'm saying it. All right. So that's it for this week. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you would like to work with me, I do offer online birth chart sessions. Go to my website, kellygunter.com, to check those out. The Soul Service Astrology 2023 Planner, which starts on the 21st of March, 2023, should be with me this week. And so if you would like to go and purchase one of those, I still have planners available. If you purchase it, I will probably be able to ship it out almost straight away when they arrive to me this week. So they are still available. Those planners are designed as a tool for you to start feeling into your ecological intelligence, that environmental intelligence that I spoke to you about, that seasonalness that we experience, and then the lunarness, through the moon. And then, of course, all the main celestial energies are in there, which is another level again. So there's all these layers that you can use the planner while you're still being very human, so that you get to go, have I got too much going on in my week? Maybe I need to take something out of it. Maybe I need some spare pace where I need to journal or create or write it out. Or perhaps that's where you get to plan and vision and set your intention for this new moon. So those planners are more than just a planning tool. They're like a co-creation tool as well for you to start to privilege all your intelligences together. Something I'm very good at. I love planning. All right, that's it from me this week. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe and go check out kellygunter.com if you would like one of those planners. Have a glorious day. Bye.